We are live in the DTV, the edutainment channel, and we want you to advertise with us. We want to offer you a commercial spot opportunity. You might be asking yourself, don't commercials cost an arm and a leg? No. With Live in the DTV, our spots start off at just $50. That's right, for just $50, you can advertise with us. Head on over to liveinthed.tv and book your spots now. You're watching Live in the DTV. I'm Jabril. We are joined today by Miss Natcole Staskiwitz. Staskiwitz, who is often referred to as Nat Queen Cole, is an award-winning author who enjoys bringing laughter, inspiration, and positivity into people's lives. She's a writer that aims to inspire and motivate her readers, empowering them to push past their limitations. And she always enjoyed how books allow readers to get lost in different worlds and stories. She's a mother and a frequent wearer of hats and a major Twilight fans. Natcole Staskiwitz is a writer of all genres. She's looking forward to taking her readers on multiple journeys in the fictional and non-fictional world. With a bachelor's degree in information systems security, today she works as an IT leader at an energy company and resides in Michigan. Breaking Poverty is her debut. Lacey's Moon is her debut children's book, and she joins us today. How are you today, Mrs. Staskiwitz?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
All right, how was that?
Not bad, not
Not
bad.
bad. Okay. Okay. So how long have you been a writer?
Well,
Author?
I only been writing for about 2 years.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to write, even as a young child, but responsibilities and things, life gets in the way, and the pandemic kind of opened up a whole new realm of no excuses. So
Right.
mhm.
Very true. What genres are your favorite to write on? I see you write on all genres and you love Twilight, but you've done fiction and nonfiction.
Yes. So I really enjoy writing children's books.
Mhm.
I feel it's really important to counter, so much negativity in the world. And
Absolutely.
it's very important to counter that with more positivity.
Mhm.
Um, but yes, children's books is my favorite. I have, as you mentioned, I have a nonfiction called Breaking Poverty. And I have another children's books that will be released this year. It's a book about kindness. So I'm kind of, mostly children's books, but there is room for more nonfiction and even sci-fi.
Awesome. Oh, even
Mhm.
sci-fi, nonfiction, even sci-fi. So we're gonna start exploring some universes, start seeing some Star Trek things from you. Okay, okay. To be determined. We'll be attuned. What would you say inspires in life inspires you to write?
Just my surroundings, my curiosity, just knowing, witnessing and seeing when things are missing, like even relating from when I was a child, different resources and um, excuse me, areas that would have been nice to have been addressed when I was younger.
Mhm.
And I see it's needed even more now as the times change.
Right.
So I just draw my inspiration from everywhere, just wanting to get that message out there. Um, some of the stories relate personally to, my own experiences.
Mhm.
And, I just draw inspiration from everywhere.
Okay. Sounds
Mhm.
good. Sounds good. Especially addressing some of those issues that maybe you had growing up, but now definitely need to be addressed probably even more and in more detail. Things get so clustered because everyone's giving their opinion, and it's so easy to give opinions that facts are becoming like diluted.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yes. So what can we see in the books you have now? Your children's book, Lacey's Moon, and your debut book, Breaking Poverty.
Breaking Poverty. So that one is about my own personal experience of overcoming, uh, debt without, how can I put it? So it's basically my experience of achieving debt freedom.
Hmm.
And I kind of wanted to put that out there. A lot of resources that I tried to seek out, it seemed like the speaking voice was from pretty much above me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more important to make sure that you meet the person where they're at, so
Right.
that they can see that it's possible, and, you know, let them know what tools, and I share my flaws, my mistakes, what I learned and everything throughout the journey. So to meet them down here so that they can, you know, reach that goal. So that story pretty much relates to my personal experience of achieving that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And the salary, it truly does not matter. It truly doesn't. The Lacey's Moon book, which I have right here.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm out of the Breaking Poverty book, so unfortunately I didn't have it. But
Okay.
this one is a story about a little girl. She's just learned some news of her favorite people,
Mm-hmm.
her favorite family members
Nice.
have passed away, and she doesn't know what to do with all those emotions she have inside.
Right.
So, you know, there's a moon that's shining bright inside her window. She's in complete awe. And, you know, she hears her favorite person in her ear saying the thing that she always hear, which is, I love you to the moon and back.
Mm.
And she loses it.
Right.
So she shouts out to the moon, and the moon hears her cry, and he comes down to her aid to help her process her feelings.
Wow.
That's what this story is about.
Can we hold it in the center right quick so we can get a full view of that? Because that's just to be such a beautiful cover.
Thank you.
Lacey's Moon. All
Yes,
right.
and I did this book with my daughter,
Nice.
teen artist. She did all the illustrating. She's
Wow.
Self-taught.
Wow.
So yes, it's won multiple awards already.
Right.
So I'm
And I
very
see something New York best selling or best something.
yes, for the New York Book Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it received an honorable mention.
Nice.
Yes.
And just because you said it was your daughter that illustrated, can you show us another page or two? Because again, the cover is
Cool.
beautiful. And you know, without giving too much of the book away, just shows 1 or 2 pages of her drawings and her art in there.
So here's
Oh, that's gorgeous.
one.
Wow. Yeah, wow. And she nice.
I showed well.
And there's another. Okay, yeah, that is lovely. That is absolutely exceptional. How old is your daughter doing illustrations that well?
She has been drawing since she's been about 6, and I noticed her attention to details.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you used to draw kids drawing little stick lines, or you know, even when it's a little bit more. I noticed a lot of the details that she would include, and as she got older, she included more and more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, during the pandemic, you know, being locked in the house and there's nothing much that you can do, I approached her about doing a project.
Right.
And thankfully, you know, she was open to it. And at that time, I didn't know that the story was going to be about grief.
Mm-hmm.
I basically told her, create a character and I'll draw inspiration from that.
Mm-hmm.
So she went to work, excuse me, and she created the character, and instantly I knew the story had to be about grief.
Mm.
It was at the time, you know, the character looked like she needed rescuing and we needed rescuing.
Yeah.
From there, the story just, you know, kind of took off, and just wrote it wrote itself pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Some characters are just you just feel them so much that it just flows. It literally flows out of you. Say a lot of artists have that with certain music. It's like you cannot rest until you get this piece out, and it's like it's not even like I had to write it. I just, you know, let my fingers fly and go, and it feels like the character was speaking to me instead of like it was a person actually in the room versus just me having to make up a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Many nights in the middle of the night, oh, let me write that down, because you just hear the dialogue and everything to capture it all. So definitely, it was a story that just kind of took on a life of its own, and it was just, I mean, it was very therapeutic for us as well. Just the experience and the lesson that she learned that we kind of learned along with her.
Yes. And what has been the the response to this book being out now, Lacey's Moon, from you're getting from parents and children reading it alike, and again, it's received an honorable mention of possibly in multiple awards. What has been the response from the public, your audience, though?
It has been phenomenal. I get so much input. I actually got a thank you letter. I wish I had it with me. I had got a thank you letter from someone about the book. So many people could relate to it. It's actually inspired by some of the loss that we experienced, which I placed at the end of the book. I don't know if you can see it, but I always wondered if, so many books went out, if anyone would actually recognize any of them. And I actually came across someone who did, and it was just amazing. But we've got tremendous outpouring support. Everyone's loved the book, and, they tell me, oh, get all teary-eyed, not in a sad way, but it's really heartfelt. So we've got tremendous support and positive feedback on the book.
Excellent. That is absolutely tremendously. I'm happy to hear that you're getting positive feedback on your book, and that it's changing accordingly, having impact on people's lives. And so, with that being said, and this character having expressed grief, or you think you will write maybe a sequel or some other things with this character, Lacey expresses, since she's so well drawn and well written?
So I actually, I've already written book 2, and my daughter is in the process of doing the illustrations for that. And that one is going to be about her coping with having a sibling. So very relatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the main theme about that. Her adjusting. She goes from being the only child to now having this kid here, and she's supposed to be happy about it, but part of her just feel like she would like things to go the way it was before before she came.
Absolutely. That sounds like a fantastic story. So we look forward to that one being out. Where can we find your books right now, though? Breaking Poverty and Lacey's Moon.
So you can always find them on Amazon. But also, if you're interested in signed copies, you can go to my website, which is my first initial N, my last name Staskiwitz, STASKIEWICZ.com. And I have a list of my selections there that you can receive as a gift for the holidays, a signed copy.
Okay, sounds amazing. And Ms. Staskiwitz, how can we keep in contact with you to just know more about writings, or someone else wants to do an interview, keep up with more books coming out?
My website is a great source. I am on Facebook, and I am currently on Instagram. And it's Natcole Staskiwitz on both. So the whole NATCOLE.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. NATCOLE Staskiwitz.
The first and last name. My name is very unique. I'm very proud of my name.
Yeah.
But yes, Natcole Staskiwitz for both Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely amazing. Why Nat Queen Co? How did that name come to be?
Well, Nat King Co, right?
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Nat Queen.
Yeah, so
yeah, nice.
Unfortunately, I don't have a voice, so.
Oh. Well, you do in writing, so you have a voice in between your pages in your literature.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All right. We're not rushing you off by any means of imagination. Breaking Poverty, would there possibly be a part 2 to that, or some more books on maybe financial literacy, or some things in personal life journeys as far as?
Yes. Right now, I know my focus is more on the children's books. Definitely in the future, as I see a way that my story can help, the tips that I've learned, however that can help, to package that into a part 2 per se, to release to help others. So that's definitely not out the question.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. And also we see that you are a Twilight fan. Yes. So if anyone hasn't seen that movie, I mean, it's been out for over a decade. I don't know. But were you Team Edward or Team Jacob at the time?
Edward, of course.
Oh, you're a Team Edward. I did not like it. I was Team Jacob. I like the wolves. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it was a good conflict. I love that because they were very compelling, both sides. You know,
Yeah.
normally the story is like you always favor the one side,
Right.
but this one is definitely more conflicting. So, but yeah, gotta go with Team Edward though.
Okay. I respect that. I respect the choice to go with Team Edward and the Cullens. I did like the family dynamic in both sides though. Like it was very tight. It was like where no one in the family was like betraying or enemies. It was just like the family dynamics on both sides were tight, and then they were just clashing. Yeah, so that's an interesting. That was an interesting dynamic there. Do you have any possible literature coming out that would maybe would kind of be similar to a Twilight story or?
It could. Not, I would say not at the moment. It's not out of the question.
Okay.
But I definitely see myself spreading across because I'm a horror buff too.
Yeah. Oh.
So, I'm all over the place.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean that's I think that's good because you can draw so many different interests into, even if you just kind of stayed on children's books for a while, you can draw a little spooky thing. I'm not gonna say horror into a children's book. Let's think things that make things a little spooky and eerie, especially for some of your older readers, young adults and whatnot. And so if you got fantasy and sci-fi and family and horror, and it's like, okay, now it's Halloween time, so now we make this little children's book that's a little, yeah, I could see it being there. So definitely good to be able to be a diverse artist and writer.
Definitely. Yes. A lot of my books that I write, it is, well, especially the Lacey's Moon, such a tough subject to tackle.
Right.
I wrote it in such a way, the older you are, the more you take from the story. So it's simple yet layered. And if you pay attention, it'll form a lot of questions. And that's part of the good thing I like about it, is that it inspired good dialogue between the parents to talk about what they learned, what do you think this mean, And again, it's not like heavily religious, not really religious at all anyway, but it encourages the family to kind of expand on whatever their belief is or whatnot. But I like having that multi, behind the scenes or the hidden message in there. It's like, what do you take from it,
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. And I look forward to hearing more from you, Miss Staskiwitz, and your books and whatever else you decide to do in the future. Is there anything that you would say to a young, especially because you had a daughter that did it now, that came out with a piece of work alongside with you, but especially with a young person, but even a person who might be up in his age and want to get something creative out there, whether it's a book, a song, album, art, anything?
I say, if you have a story or something that's really important to you, and it's kind of I don't want to say selfish, but share it with the world, even if it's for just you or your family. My other book, Dear Child of Mine, I had my kids involved. It basically tells about the professions in my family, and but still you can choose to be whoever you want, It doesn't matter. I love you the same, and that's a message that my kids, great, it's all the way down the line. So I say, if you're on the fence about putting it out there because you're scared, then I wouldn't worry about that. Just focus on your target, which is, your family or yourself. And you'll be amazed how many people will relate to it or can benefit from your story. And it wasn't even a big thing to you, but it turns into something else for someone else. So I say, go for it. There's too many resources out there not to know how to put the book out there. So, just I say try, because a few years ago, I wouldn't have never thought that I would have been in this position to have even a meeting with you. Whether you believe it or not, I'm one of the biggest introverts that you can come across,
Yeah.
but it's just that thing that this is something important to me. It's
Hmm.
a message I want to spread out to the world, and it's meant for whoever it's meant for.
Right.
So just don't put too much behind it. Just put it out there.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. All right, Ms. Staskiwitz, we thank you so much for joining us. If there's anything else you would like to share with us, please feel free. Otherwise, we understand that you obviously have multiple projects that you're working on or even thinking about working on. So we will
Yeah.
let you go. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience, though?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I look forward to talking to you guys again later. Again, I think I mentioned that my next children's book that's coming out December 1st.
Mm.
It's called Kindness is My Thing.
Okay.
And it's about a little girl that is learning about kindness in school, and she's not sure if it's her thing.
Mm.
So as she goes through the process of learning what kindness means to her, the approach she takes to do kindness, because the assignment is that, she has to do the random acts of kindness, and then she has to do a report at the end of the week, explaining who she chose to do those acts to and why.
Mhm.
So it's a combination of, once she goes through and figure out what kindness means to her, the methods that she chooses to demonstrate the kindness is a little bit unconventional. So it's
Right.
not really popular. So it's kind of dealing with a little bit of peer pressure of worrying what other people think and whatnot. So it's a great story. I'm not just saying it because I wrote it.
And being biased, no, it's a great story.
But I look forward to sharing that with everyone December 1st.
Okay,
So
December
again,
1st.
yep.
Well, that's just in a couple of weeks now. That's in a month away.
It goes
Yeah.
by so fast, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so December 1st, kindness is my thing. Where can we find Lacey's Moon and Breaking Poverty, however?
So you can either find it on Amazon
Mhm.
.com or my website nstaskowitz.com.
nstaskowitz.com. All right, we thank you again so much, and we look forward to hearing more from you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye now.
Bye.
Hold my breath, hush my head, count my steps. I need this more than ever. Might feel strange, but I'm not afraid. Every day I try but can't forget it. Hey, I need a new way. Let's just give and take, make mistakes, keep on hoping for the day I'll fly high. As long as my heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. My heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going.
We are live in the DTV, the edutainment channel, and we want you to advertise with us. We want to offer you a commercial spot opportunity. You might be asking yourself, don't commercials cost an arm and a leg? No. With Live in the DTV, our spots start off at just $50. That's right, for just $50, you can advertise with us. Head on over to liveinthed.tv and book your spots now.